Pick a move in the ring. You can hit me with the words you fling.
Well, yeah, we got Thanh back on the show. We tried to do this last week, but his Wi-Fi was terrible in the Singapore hotel after he just won the featherweight championship in one championship. So we're doing it again. Thanh, you're back in Louisiana now, right? How's everything going?
Going great. Back to training and living the life.
Yeah, I mean, did you have a little celebration when you got back there? Was everyone waiting to cheer your awesome victory over Martin Nguyen?
Yeah, it was nice. My family met me at the airport, which was a surprise. I thought I was going to see them at home, but they had the whole balloons and sign and all that fun stuff. So that was cool to be able to see them, obviously. And then we went back to mom and dad's house, and they had some home cooked Vietnamese food and some cake, good old stuff. Partying isn't too crazy nowadays, but that's my extent of partying, and that's the way I like it.
Yeah, I don't think you're going to party too much because it looks like maybe you're going to have to defend that belt maybe against Martin again soon. You alluded to it in the circle after your win, and Martin's been posting on his social media that he's coming in February. He's already training. Have you heard anything from them or from Martin or one?
I haven't. I saw somebody made an article just kind of speculating about the date and the venue and all that stuff. But, we figured this from the get. And then the way the fight was going, obviously the first 2 rounds went really well for us. And then in the 3rd round, he started to pick it up, but that's what got him knocked out. But I'd like to get a few of those shots back and a couple of the punches that I rolled and that he came close with and made contact with the next time around. That won't happen.
How do you think he's going to change up his game plan? Do you see there a way maybe there's a weakness he could exploit in you, or is he's onto a losing cause?
I mean, obviously, we're on this side of the team, right? So good guys, and then they're the good guys to them. So on the good guys side, we're just filling the holes that we did see. And he can change. He can't change tool selection too much because of the skill set that he possesses. It's a great skill set. He just is limited by the bounds of the skills that he possesses, right? And then things that you can change is attitude of punches, attitude of strikes, how much pressure he decides, how open he becomes to, depending on how much pressure he gives. So there's a few things that I was preparing for the day after the fight in the hotel room shadowboxing. So, I was on FaceTime with my 2 coaches that went with me to Singapore and put the phone down, and we were running game plan and strategy rounds and how to make sure that some of the shots that he slipped in never happen again. So I'm very confident in the amount of time that we've had to develop already, and I'm only going to have more and more months of practice. So he was in trouble last fight and be in trouble again.
Are you ready for February, or is that too soon, or you don't care? Is that enough time to get everything going again?
Absolutely. I mean, honestly, if my hands weren't sore, we'd do it next week. You know what I mean? But we'll let these hands heal up. We'll go iron out our adjustments and take a look at what he thinks he can do and try to get into their heads and prepare for that. And then we can go ASAP.
You definitely think it's Martin, or are you going to see maybe if Gary Tonin or Kiyomi Matsushima has a big victory next or this month, actually now, later this month, would that change the picture maybe?
I don't think that's going to change the picture for me because, I've got what I want to do outlined in my head. If those plans change, I am not opposed to it, right? Like I'm open for any options that we always talk about, the contender fight, rematch with Martin, maybe moving up to fight Christian. I mean, all those options we've talked about before, and those are definitely in the sights, but we got to do what makes sense. And I've told you guys this last time is I'm going to chase the biggest challenges for me, right? I don't really care, what the media says or what the fans think as far as what they think my biggest challenge is. I'm going to face the biggest challenge that I think is, in front of me. So that can be interpreted a couple ways. Obviously, with this quote unquote like power to select. You can use it for good and for bad, right? I can go and select fighters that might give me an easy win, or have a skill set that I'm very confident in, that I don't mind the matchup, but that's not me. That's not how I'm going to use this position. I didn't get the belt and earn the belt so I could take easy fights. I did it because it gives me the opportunity to fight the toughest dudes in the world. I've said that plenty of times, and I'll continue to preach it. And that's why I do this. If I wanted the easy way, I'd just quit fighting and go make a bunch of money doing some other stuff that I've done before when I quit and decided to fight. So it's my job to find the toughest challenges for me. And that might be the contender fight. That might be rematch with Martin, and that might be the Christian fight. So, we'll take a look and decide and talk with the company and see what makes sense.
Yeah, I think last time I wanted to ask you before we had the Wi-Fi issues. It's been my turn to have the Wi-Fi issues today, but I was just going to ask you, did you watch Christian's performance against Yuri Lapkus? What you made of that? Is that something now? Has that changed your mission of maybe going up at all, or what?
No, the fight was great. Good aggression at the beginning, got him caught a little bit, but he fought back and did an excellent job of securing that, especially after he went for that ankle look and turned his toward, and the finish was after that. But no, it was a great performance. And again, that scare somebody who's selecting opponents, using opponents away from, because he had such a good performance, but that makes me want to fight him even more. That makes me want to fight him before I fight Martin, right? Things like that. So obviously we're still weighing out options and we haven't made any type of decision, but those things don't push me away and scare me. Those things wake me up in the morning to go train, to go run miles and miles. On a Sunday, I'm supposed to take off and go out there and game plan, shadow box, all this good stuff, right? So that's what motivates me. That's what I enjoy doing. I like this. That's why I do it. I don't do this because I have to.
Do you have a rough time frame for going up and challenging in lightweight? Maybe say you beat Martin in a rematch and then you defend it again against the winner of that number one contender. Would we feasibly maybe see you challenge in the lightweight division next year?
I could see that. Absolutely. Obviously, we still have to think things out and plan things out and see what happens with fights. But, maybe nothing happens if I go out there and lose my next fight. We cannot let that happen, right? But obviously, we're going out there and we're gonna be smart about things. But next year is definitely an option.
Are you looking further down the division to see who the next featherweight challengers might be, deeper than that top five? Is there anyone you've maybe got an eye on as someone you think may come and challenge you within a year or two?
Really, my eyes have been set on that top five, the division jump, and the rematch. I don't like to look too far ahead anyway for the know that, because you never can look past your opponent. I mean, let's say we rematch Martin first. I already beat him, but there's no way you can look past this man into Christian or Matsushima or Gary. It just doesn't work like that. You can get slept in a heartbeat, so you got to make sure you're on top of your game. You got to be the best you possible for every fight. But again, like I said, we're looking at the top five, looking at the rematch, and looking at lightweight. And then, once those things happen and play out, then we'll start digging down the featherweight line so I can start clearing those guys out.
Cool. I mean, I just wanted to ask a bit about, winning the belt as well. We touched on it before the last interview, before all the issues, but what was that feeling like, the emotion when you finally were handed the belt? You've had a career, there's some ups and downs for sure, and I've always thought you deserved something like this. Was it just a huge release of emotion?
Definitely. I'm in normal life, I could say I'm not super emotional, but when it comes to family, when it comes to goals, when it comes to what everybody has sacrificed around me to give up for me so I can chase this, that gets me really emotional, right? Like I can feel it right now just talking about it. But winning that belt. I answered somebody's question on Instagram recently. The two things that popped into my head was the announcer announcing and new, that was something cool that I wanted to hear right away. And then don't cry, right? I know they're going to do this interview after. I know they're going to put the belt on you. Don't try not to pout like a little baby. Let's compose ourselves, answer these questions the way they want them answered, and we'll go cry in the back.
Well, what about when you got home? Who's been on the text messages, on the phone calls? Who's been saying well done to you? I'm sure a lot of people really were watching that fight, and I think they also think that you deserve this so much.
It's an endless list, and I'm so grateful to be able to have a support group that reaches out pretty damn far and also stays pretty close to home all at the same time, which is kind of weird, right? But everybody from all the gyms that I train at, primarily, all my guys at Mid City MMA, all my guys at Moon College Taekwondo, all my guys at 50-50. And then, I go to TriStar also from time to time, as regular as I can, and got messages from those guys too. It's been really awesome for everybody, reaching out. It's obviously, everybody's proud. And just like you said, they're saying things like well-deserved and a long time coming, which, we feel as well. So all that has been so great. And then obviously the most important messages are the ones from mom, dad, the wife, brother, in-laws. Those are the inner circle that really makes the biggest difference. And that's why I do all of this. So it's been great. I can't complain.
Yeah, I'm sure it's going to help have a fun end to the year as well. Will you be enjoying Thanksgiving and Christmas there? Or, have you got any plans to just keep training? What's it like for you, the holiday season? Do you relax a bit, or do you just work all the way through it?
I both, right? Because that's pretty much my entire life, is work through it and enjoy it with family and friends. So yeah, I can't complain. This life is great. It's allowed me to do what I love, and it allows me to work every morning and every evening. Few hours in the morning, few hours at night, spend time with family in between, before and after. So it's awesome. Not many people get to say that they can do that and can do a job that they love. That plus family time, Thanksgiving, Christmas, watching my son open Christmas presents from Santa. Obviously I got one on the way, so that's awesome to spend more time with my wife. Like it's perfect. I can't complain. But no, the work never stops. Immediately after fights, through the holidays, we'll train on Christmas and Thanksgiving, and then go right to mom and dad's house and eat some food.
It's been awesome to catch up with you again, Tan. And I just, how's the followers? Have you gained a bunch of new followers on Instagram and Facebook and all that? Has it been cool to see your following just jump up? I'm sure it has.
Yeah, that's a little crazy, to be honest with you, to up and see all these double-digit numbers of followers and stuff. Cool, because I've not really experienced that before, so that's always cool. And it's really cool to be able to kind of get in touch and contact with all the fans all around the world. I mean, every corner of the globe. It's been really cool to hear guys asking me questions on Instagram. Y'all keep that coming. People looking for merchandise and fight shirts and things like that. And people getting really hype about instructional that's coming out, Taekwondo for MMA. So it's really cool to be able to touch base with all these guys around the planet and have them give me their input and what they think, and it's cool. It's really cool.
Yeah, is it some kind of new pressure you've never felt before, or does it matter to you now that there's more eyes on you, I guess?
Oh yeah. Don't get it twisted. I love it and I'm grateful and thankful, but never will that affect me as a man, as a person, as a father, son, none of that, right? Like, you always hear crazy stories, but I'll never let that happen as far as affecting training, affecting how I approach fights, how I fight, how I decision make, things like that. So been very awesome, like grateful and thankful, but no added pressure. Nobody could ever add more pressure than I put on myself, right?
All right, well, it's been really cool to catch up with you again, Tan, and Thanks so much for sharing your thoughts. Glad we got to do it again. And yeah, enjoy the holidays and can't wait to see that rematch with Martin. If it looks like that's going to happen in February or whenever, it's going to be awesome.
I appreciate it. Thank you very much for having me.